So, hello everyone. We are here at an impromptu video at TankFest 2018, and this, for everyone who doesn't know, this is TiK,
Hello.
the Imperator Knight. And I get a lot of comments that, do you know TiK? Do you know TiK's channel and everything? And so I said, I think let's settle this once and for all with a direct approach. And so, hello TiK.
Hi. Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So if you don't know, TiK does mostly World War II stuff, or only World War II stuff,
Only
and
World War II stuff.
and focusing on North Africa and the Eastern Front.
North Africa and the Eastern Front especially, but also Market Garden.
And Market Garden. Okay, I forgot this one. I didn't Market Garden yet, so yeah, I kind of forget it. Yeah.
Mostly airborne. But I'm also into tanks, including the KV-2.
One.
Two?
The KV-2 would have the 150, 55 millimeter gun, and
Oh, yeah,
this
that's
is
a
the
good
76 one.
So,
yeah.
so you don't know enough about tanks, mate. No.
Probably it's 152 millimeter. So it's
Yeah. See, the thing is as well, I mean, this tank, while it's very important, there weren't that many of them in the early part of the war.
Yeah, the other part, but then it produced quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was
towards the
kind
end.
of beast.
Towards the end. So a lot of the Soviet tanks tended to be light tanks.
Yeah, the BT-7.
BTs, T-26s.
Yeah, these were rather
Yeah.
odd.
And then these things came along, but these weren't the norm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the main problem was that they usually didn't mass them around, and just often infantry support was missing.
Yes.
This is the thing when I did the anti-tank infantry tactics, the people know, yeah, but this doesn't work out because they're supporting infantry, and then you read Alexander Hill and then say, yeah, there's counterattacks with tanks, so basically usually on tactical level, very uncoordinated and everything, and well, nothing, and without infantry support. And then yeah, you can go up there and drop your bundle charge between the turret, and yeah, then it works. But if there's infantry around, not so much anymore.
Well, I mean, I kind of already asked it, but I think it'd be nice for them to know, like, you know, if you had to sort of put a timestamp on it, I mean, how much time do you spend reading, writing, making video? You know, how long does it take you?
The most time I put into scripting and designing, which includes animation. And the scripting part is usually I read before, but during the scripting part I reread a lot of stuff and I put in the quotes. So scripting and reading is actually hard to distinguish from each other. I have a different categories in my Excel sheet, but if you look at it, reading I think only makes up 10%.
Oh, okay.
But if you add the scripting, which makes up around 30 to 40%, it's like,
Yeah.
so what I do usually, I read several parts of a book, but those parts I usually read very intensively or several times.
Yeah.
So whereas I'm not just reading a book cover to cover, I'm reading several aspects, and then I review at the index already know.
Yeah.
I put now when I read something, I put a post-it on every page with basically a short summary.
You don't write in the books?
No, I don't write in the books. And
Some
I
people
have
don't like
different
that.
I have different color post-its. So yellow is summaries.
Ah.
Green ones is data, usually statistics. Then I have purple ones or magenta ones, which are basically maps, figures along those lines.
Ah, okay.
Then I have special ones for I want to do this topic.
Yeah.
And then I have blue ones, which are usually temporary ones when I like preparing for a video or something that, okay, I need this, or for a live stream sometimes I put in the blue ones. Was there another color? I think there was a fourth color, I forgot.
So you don't read from book like cover to cover. You just read in what?
Rarely. I tried actually
Yeah.
this year. I tried to read one book cover to cover, but I interrupted so many times.
Yeah.
And then at the end I realized I forgot most of the stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm usually focused on one aspect, and then I read several books, usually the relevant chapters. So this is also why I have a very tight scope. And then later on, I make videos on similar stuff, and then I already have the in-depth knowledge usually, or I just have to revisit the stuff I did.
Yeah, because somebody asked me, like, how do you read all these books? It's like, well, I don't read them cover to cover. I go and see the specific chapters and the specific points that are needed. And I'd imagine it was the same with you. There's no way you could physically read from cover to cover every single book.
Yeah, I mean, some people can, but basically
topic.
it's hit and run tactics. You focus on something, you set your Schwerpunkt, and then you go in, you grab everything and then you cut away everything you don't need or which you don't consider important, because quite often people mention, you forgot this element. I say, no, the scope of the video was on this and the scope wasn't this. So this is not in there, only what is in there. And sometimes I intentionally leave out stuff because the video was too long anyway, or it was not that important. For instance, in my Poland video, the invasion of Poland, I don't mention when the first shots were fired on the Westerplatte, because it's fucking irrelevant. Let's face it, when the first shots happened is fucking irrelevant for the whole operation at all. It's only important in a, well, chronological sense that at this time and this geographic location happened, but it didn't have an important influence on the whole operation.
No, it wouldn't have done. It wouldn't have done. No.
And why you need the technical detail of a geographic location and the time? I think this is usually, but documentaries do this. But I don't make documentaries.
No, it depends on the video, because if you're doing, a 10-minute video on a specific thing, you haven't got time to go into everything.
Yeah.
There's no chance. But then if you do stupid amount of time videos like some of mine, sometimes you can go into it, but it depends on the video, doesn't it?
I mean, for me, it's also about retention. I don't assume that people, for me, it's enough if people know, okay, in September 1939, the Germans invaded Poland, but it's already enough if you know in 1939. But if I add like, on this day, at this time, it's basically, okay, your mind starts, unimportant detail, drop it off, and I try to focus it on the higher level, because those people who really want to get into detail read a book anyway.
Suppose so.
Usually, I think so. Yeah.
We'd hope so. Start reading books.
So ideally, read books, and if you don't, you know which channels to watch. Self-promotion. Thank you. This was brought to you by the propaganda company.
That's what we need to make, a propaganda company. No, thing is though, like, I like to break stuff down. So like, if it is in a book and it's really complicated, I like to sort of explain that.
Yeah.
But as I say, trying to do that with something massively complicated, it's not possible, is it? Not in a 10-minute video.
I mean, it really depends. I'm not into chronology, so for me, it doesn't matter that much. I don't.
Completely different people.
Yeah, chronology is for me. It's all about understanding and connecting everything, and sometimes causality is important, but not chronology. So X happened before Z. That's very important. But when X and Z really happen, it's not that important for me for the whole understanding. For me, it's always connecting the dots and then everything around, but the exact position of the dot is usually not that relevant. You just need the order to be right. And then a certain amount of distance to get it correct.
Yeah. You want, I'm going to have to ask you the question. I'm going to have to ask you the question. So, in my videos, I tend to say I want 1 point on a topic.
One factor,
one factor. And
this is thrown upon in academic circles, at least in Austria and Germany.
You don't agree?
Monocausality, bad.
You don't agree?
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's
the problem is, it really depends. Some people will always go back to one factor.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, I intend to, there's so much stuff that gets oversimplified. So I say, well, let's keep away from this and make it as simple as possible, but with multi-factor analysis. Unless, of course, there's really just one factor, but which is rarely the case. Those guys who watch my Twitch streams, usually if you're asking something personal, I always say, it comes down to several factors. So maybe I'm overcomplicated, which kind of is true.
No. There are several factors, but what I think you should do is choose one of those factors to be the most important. But you don't agree with that.
Let's put it this way. It's rather hard to do if you go for the oil thing, which you're hinting at. Yeah.
No, not necessarily the oil.
The thing is, you probably needed several different people that argue for several different factors as well, and then bounce it. And also the oil factor, to a certain degree, could say, was it so important in 1939? So
Yeah.
and in other part, so you need to look at the timing and everything. So it gets way more complicated. So to say, okay, for the whole war it was this.
Yeah.
Because for me to say it was the most important factor, I would say, well, if I gave the Germans all the oil in the world, would they have won the war? And I said, yeah, I doubt. So, because there were manpower issues, there were food issues, there were other resource issues.
So this is the point then. So if oil isn't the biggest factor, what is the biggest factor? And here you go, you'll list several things. But
yeah, but I need to closer look at this. This is the thing. I mean, you read Tooze, and I think he was very much focused on the oil thing, as far as I know.
It was a guy called Soprani. I think I did use Tooze as well, but a guy called Soprani's done, basically it was his PhD, but also a lot of other books as well.
Okay.
But there's also a few others as well, but yeah, they say it's a main factor, and I guess it is, but is it the big factor? It's debatable. But that's the point. The thing is, like you're saying, like on manpower and
industrial capacity from the very beginning, because for instance, why had the Germans so many motorcycles? Why they had the Kraftschützen? Yeah, because they had an excellent motorcycle industry, but they had a shitty car industry.
Yeah.
So whereas the US forces had very good car industry, so you have Jeeps and everything.
So that's the thing. So it's like, but the point of me saying, okay, here's the oil factor, this is the main factor, it's to spark that debate. So with you is several different factors. This is the one going, right, this is the big one. And then it's up to you and everyone else to disagree.
I think I get now what is the main difference. It's actually not the factor. For me, it's about settling debates. For him, it's about inciting debates. Could it be?
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, it's just, okay, let's settle this. This is what I try with my videos. I usually say, okay, this is the stuff, and let's settle this. And this is likely the thing. And you want to incite debate, yeah. Clickbait.
Don't get me started on that. No.
He is a clickbaiter.
In what sense? No. So no, this is more like the angel and devil.
Gotcha.
No, angel and devil. No, I like to play devil's advocate because I like people to discuss. If people are discussing history, then more people are discussing history. It brings, and people like to argue. They do. Like we're arguing now in a sense.
It's kind of funny because I actually come from the arguing background, but I did university like debating club and everything. But I guess I'm so sick of debating, especially on YouTube, that I just wanna settle this. Like, okay, let's make one video to settle this issue finally and never go back again. I mean, it sounds a bit German again, yeah. And so I guess this is the main difference. I actually don't want to have too much debate. This is the thing. I want to move to a more sober and balanced approach. So, but it's quite actually interesting that I figured this out now in this interview that your approach is to incite debate. Yeah. And for me is settle it. Yeah. And I'm quite different in my videos because in my videos I'm usually very balanced, very very sober, very unemotional. Whereas when you get me in real life with politics or something, I'm like this angry dude from Austria. Yeah.
Can I tempt you over to the dark side? I think you should make a video where you go, right, today I'm gonna say my opinion and just make that video.
Yeah, and then I have to hide somewhere in Switzerland or something in the mountains because I can't show up anymore.
Is it that bad?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to see him make that video, comment down below. You're not going to make that video, are you?
No. Likely not. For a long time I was not live streaming because I was scared that I say something stupid on live.
All right, I'll tell you what.
I'm a very angry fucker.
Yeah, heard it from that. Tell me what it was and I'll make that video for you.
I mean, it's not usually about history. But this is the thing, with military history, I'm chilled as fuck. But when it comes to actual politics, oh boy, don't get me started. You should see Bismarck when we're in a group and somebody mentions something politics. He goes like, oh shit, no, Bernard is going to start again. No, I'm leaving the room now.
And yet that's not reflected in your videos. I think the audience deserves it. They need it.
Yeah, no.
Military history arguments.
military history freaking out about current politics. Rant, the Uber rant.
Uber, yes, perfect. That could just be the channel name, Uber Rant. I'll join it. I'll be the first subscriber.
Well, I think we got enough here because, as you saw, some people were running through. We probably cut it out.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And so, I would say thank you very much, TiK. Be sure to check out this channel. And now we can also settle a little bit. Do you know TiK?
No.
I think I should send some people over to you and ask you, do you know militaries to visualize?
Oh, they all know you.
But it would be quite interesting. Drop some comments on his channel in this video and ask him if he knows me. How about that? To return the favor.
Revenge. No. That's all I get for the next 20 days.
Yeah. It was not the oil.
No. Come and argue.
So thank you, TiK.
Cheers, mate.
And thank you for watching. See you next time.
See you
Bye.